It's the Wait for the Seattle podcast, episode 85. We didn't even hit 100 episodes to get a world champion.
It's unbelievable.
You are a
So
world
good.
championship, Brian
Well,
Elsner.
I'm not really.
Well,
I
you
didn't really
kind
do
of,
anything.
you were a true believer. If there were
fair.
buckets of people talking about this team before the season, my guy, you were the true believer.
Thank you. Yeah, there's a lot of truth in that. I put money on it, not a lot, but enough. I didn't go all in enough though. God,
Yeah.
those 60-1 odds would have been nice for the Super Bowl. You did aggregate a clip of me from like 5 weeks ago saying that I didn't think Sam Darnold would lead this team to the Super Bowl. So thanks for that, podcast co-host.
But I think one of the points made in the clip was that he didn't need to be that good for them to win, and that's exactly what happened on Sunday.
True. And the point of the post was actually, this is the problem with short, we've talked about this 1,000 times, the short clips versus the long-term. The long-term conversation in that podcast was people bashing Sam Darnold and me defending him and saying, do I think he's good enough to win a Super Bowl this year? Probably not. But that's okay. They're improved, and I'd rather have him, and I think he's still great. They went and won the Super Bowl!
Yes, they won.
What?
I would yell, but there's a sleeping baby in my house.
Yeah, I get you.
There's going to be a lot of these where I drop like a personal experience from being at the Super Bowl.
But yeah,
one of my favorites was as we were leaving the stadium after the celebration, after the during the afterglow of the championship, we were walking out of Levi's Stadium, and there's this huge poster of Sam Darnold, and then the other huge poster is of Drake May. And this guy's just yelling, like, hey, look up at that poster. We address him as Super Bowl champion Sam Darnold. That's right. That's a Super Bowl champion Sam Darnold.
That is so awesome. To jump right off of that, Kev, I have a tendency to impulse buy when my teams win a championship, which is not very often, actually. Hence the Wait for It Seattle moniker that we gave years ago. Since then, they won 2 Super Bowls. The first time the Seahawks won the Super Bowl, I did 2 things. I was enjoying myself at a party, and Bruno Mars really impressed me at the halftime show. And I bought tickets to a Bruno Mars concert at halftime when the Seahawks beat the Broncos. Bad Bunny's performance was amazing. I did not buy Bad Bunny tickets. I don't even think they're available. You'd have to go to Puerto Rico. Secondly, after that last Super Bowl, I bought the pennant like you have behind you right now. I bought the commemorative football, the Sports Illustrated book, the sweatshirt, right? Bought all the stuff. Kev, I'm not going to tell you how much money I've spent this year already, but I bought some stuff.
I will tell you.
I bought some stuff, and one of the things I bought from a company I don't even love, I won't even name what it is. They have a Sam Darnold champion shirt, and I loved it so much, I'm buying it. It just says Sam Darnold with a crown, and it says champion.
Okay, so when you're at a big championship game or a game that matters, you kind of have to time when you go to the bathroom. And we kind of had this conversation when we're talking about the Mariners.
Yeah, playoff Mariner games, that was tough.
Yeah, I'm with my sister, and we do know we want to have some souvenirs from the game. And surprisingly, like the black market for I bought like this cool fake, I should have wore this, but this cool fake Seattle Seahawks New England Patriots Super Bowl shirt for $20. I got it in downtown San Jose, like a bootleg version.
Yeah.
Pulled it out of a backpack.
Love it.
But I wanted some official merch, and the lines were just so long pregame. And so we leave like kind of during the second quarter. I watched the Seahawks offensive possession, and I was like, let's just go. Let's go to the main store. And of course, lines out the door. But you can kind of hear, and I was watching it on YouTube TV. It was the second quarter. So I didn't honestly miss that much.
No, you didn't. Yeah. I mean, amazing defense, but yeah.
Maybe we were in line for 10 to 15 minutes, and we finally get in this NFL Super Bowl store. And I mean, it's kinda like a mad rush because a lot of it's picked over, but you're also like, "Okay, like, if it has Super Bowl on it and the Seahawks, like, you don't even look at the price because it's already,
That's
like,
what I'm saying, man.
spent so much on the ticket. I'm already here. I
Yeah.
might not be here for another decade, if so, right?" And
Yeah.
so, at some point, I'm just looking at this model toy Super Bowl truck, and I'm like, "JJ would like this." Caroline goes, "How much is that?" I'm like, "Well, if it's 100 other under $100, like, I'll probably regret this life choice." I got a Super Bowl model truck. I got a hat. I got a pennant. I got a T-shirt for mom.
Yeah.
Thank God I got a keychain. I got a koozie. Thank God they won. Like, if they
Yeah.
lost,
Yeah, it wouldn't feel
that
as
would have
good.
been
That's true.
yes.
Yeah, that's a good point. I do love I think it's underrated. Great choice on the bootleg shirt. That's such a is that a cup from the Super Bowl?
This was the souvenir cup.
This is so good. You're flexing so well right now. So appropriately flexing. Um, I love the versus t-shirts. Like
Yes,
just commemorative
that's what it
event with
was.
the two teams. I love those. And I don't have any for any
I should have bought
matchups.
you one, man. They'll
Like, well,
probably
I didn't
show
even
up.
think about it till you said it, but
Yeah.
it's a great like I should have bought a like a Blue Jays Mariners ALCS shirt. I don't know why. I love those when I see them like 10
Yeah.
years later. You know what I mean? They're
Yeah.
just so cool. Um,
Even
yeah,
if
I
you
got
lose, like, so we had
yeah.
this conversation about our dads, but, like, when my dad passed, he had bins of, like, shirts,
Yeah.
and,
Yeah.
we're trying to piece together, like, "Okay, did the Huskies win this Rose Bowl?"
Right.
Like, this is from, like, '84, like, did they
Yeah.
win? I have no idea,
Yeah.
but it doesn't matter because it's so cool because it's vintage, and
Yep.
you have a responsibility as a father to do the
Yep.
same for your sons, so make
Yeah.
sure you buy those, like, weird
You know,
T-shirts.
the new generation, it's tough. They
Yeah.
just want to get rid of stuff quicker. And maybe it's although Dana's really good, my wife Dana is really good at holding on
Yeah.
to the commemorative stuff. And also you can make t-shirt quilts now, which are super cool, and you can
Yeah.
so you don't have to have the shirts. Anyway, I bought the kids both a championship t-shirt. They were psyched. They were into the game, which was fun. That was a
Yeah.
new experience for me. They were
Yeah.
so little last time. Like they watched the game, they were excited. They were wearing their jerseys. I posted a picture on Instagram of all of us in our four different style jerseys. I was wearing the Cortez Kennedy that's behind me. My
Yeah.
wife had the Richard Sherman the Broncos Super Bowl with the Super Bowl logo on it,
Yeah.
signed, by the way. She just wears it. So awesome. I love it. And then we got both kids jerseys between NFC Championship and Super Bowl. Felix
Yeah.
got like a black JSN one. And then Lincoln got the Oregon Duck feathered fan one, the alternate
Yeah.
jersey this year, the
Yeah.
rivalry jersey that I think is cooler among his age than it is among older people. We had
Yeah.
four different jerseys represented. That was fun. Yeah.
Yeah. I will
So,
say the apparel at the game was we can talk about it later, but, very similar vibes.
yeah. Talk to me so we're going to break down you going to the Super Bowl first. Like we'll talk about the game and talk about our, emotions and our MVPs and all these things. But I need to know about your experience. So, I want you to start with I already know that you regret buying your ticket when you bought it, so I'm not going to go into
Yes.
that. Oh, can I first say, I think this jersey is hideous. I think it's a hideous Seahawks jersey, but it's a Matt Hasselbeck, and I had to wear it because I made the comparison to Sam Darnold. I feel like Darnold was Hasselbeck's child living the prophecy that Hasselbeck couldn't do against the Steelers, and Darnold did it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
shout out to Matt Hasselbeck. What time did you get to the game?
Yeah.
What was the pregame like?
Yeah.
Talk us through all the stuff before the game started.
Yeah. So, um, that was kind of one of the challenges of when to show up. I hope someone that's going to the Super Bowl next year, like, pins this, and so then they can because for any championship game, you wanna be there at least an hour early. Like, and some people get to football games an hour early just to get settled, and it just
That's true.
depends.
Yeah.
Um,
I've gone
there's
over an hour early at football games, but I'm usually outside the stadium
yeah,
in a row of RVs. That's a
Yeah.
good place to be an hour before the game.
And, like,
Yeah.
really, you don't have an idea of what it's going to be like. There's not, like you could look up website information, but there's nothing really telling you, like, besides the bare bones, like, here's where you enter, like, here's what you can bring into the game. Um, and so we aim to get to the stadium by 1:30 at the latest.
Okay. 2 hours
Um,
before. Yep.
yeah, we get on the public we got on a light rail uh, into the where it drops you off right off at the stadium, and on our ride there, there's this guy that and you come across a lot of these types of people at the Super Bowl. They're not wearing Patriots gear, they're not wearing Seahawks gear. They're wearing, like, khakis and a
Oh,
polo or,
okay.
like, a
Okay.
suit or, like, a quarter zip. I
Okay.
wanna bucket these people because I'm gonna talk about them
Okay.
throughout the
Okay.
episode as,
Okay.
like, corporate people that are just there to go to the Super Bowl,
Yeah.
and I kinda hate it because there's
Interesting.
much more deserving people to go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
These people are just at the game by virtue of connection
Mhm.
and
Or being rich.
or being rich,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And they're not per se fans, and I
Right.
don't know if they would
They're not
enjoy
like
the
you,
scene.
a fan and
Yes.
also rich.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
One of those is true. One of those is not true. How would I say this? Like, and he was just talking to us and talking to us, and he's like, "Yeah," and casually drops like, "I've been to every Super Bowl since 1980 or something."
Oh, dang.
I'm like, "What?" And
Yeah.
then he hands us his business card, and, like, we're just talking like he's a normal guy, like I'm joking around, and then he walks away, and then I Google him, I'm like, "Oh, he's, like, the CEO of one of these major companies that's
Yeah.
involved in, like, putting on the Super Bowl." So it's like,
Wow.
that was interesting.
Yeah.
Um,
I
anyways,
I
we
give
get
him less
yeah,
crap for wearing
yeah.
his khakis and
Y
his
yeah, and he
polo
just
since he
had
helps
an
to put it
NFL
on.
yeah, he had an NFL hat, right?
Oh,
So, you know,
that's awesome.
it's like
Yeah.
he's just wearing an NFL
Yeah.
hat. Who's a
Just
fan of just
generic
the NFL? Yeah.
NFL hat.
Yeah, so you get off and, by that point, like, everyone in our group of people needs to go pee, and it's the classic, like, there are no porta potties. There are only overcrowded mom pa restaurants that did not expect well, they should have
Yeah,
expected
yeah,
this.
yeah, yeah.
Like, lines out the door to just go to the bathroom.
Wow.
That took a chunk of time,
Yeah.
disproportionate amount of time. And then they actually extended the security out so far.
Mm.
Think of, like, if you were at T-Mobile Park
Yep.
and, like, the entrance to the or actually, CenturyLink or, Lumen Field's a
Lumen,
better
yeah.
example, right? Like, security is actually outside of the stadium, right?
Yep.
Imagine security if it was just pushed out all the way to where the food trucks are,
Yeah.
and they just have queues of people.
Yeah.
And, like, so once you're in, you're in. And what I'm saying is it's just, like, they expanded like, the security of the stadium, and I think that's on
Like the
purpose, right?
perimeter.
Yeah, so,
You
like,
got
it
it.
takes you forever, and, like, you're in these long lines to just
Mm.
get
It's
into
like
the
Disneyland.
actual Yeah, that's a great point.
I
And
mean,
I guess
I'd stood in those lines. I
yeah,
love
I
Disneyland.
never experienced it at, like, that far out of a sporting event, so it's like,
Yeah.
once we go in, we gotta commit, and, like, it's like the Super Bowl, so every political interest group is out there
Oh, boy.
handing things out, there's the bootleggers, you know? I don't know why there's cops there because, like, if they were to try to stop something, I don't know if they would be
Yeah.
able to with the
Yeah.
amount of people, but um, we brought supplies and just thinking, all right, like if we just have to dump everything, we'll just dump everything.
Yeah.
And so then we finally got through the security line, and when we're there, it's a long line, but no one cares because the vibes are so
Yeah.
high.
Yeah, yeah.
Like everyone's just so happy just to be there. And it's just like any other big game. Like lines are long. There's special menu items in the concessions. You want to be able to get in your seat. One interesting thing, though, I'll drop this for the pregame, is that we didn't know. Like, I just bought tickets, and it was in section 417, and I didn't have the tickets like until Saturday.
Mm.
And so we get to the game, and the guy who's in seat 1 we have seats 2, 3, and 4. The guy in seat 1 goes, "I was waiting for you guys because on Saturday, they were asking me to transfer my ticket back. I was in seat 2." and then they were gonna sell me seat one give me seat 1
Hmm.
because they knew they needed 3 tickets together. And I was like, "Oh my god, so if you didn't give up your ticket, like, we
What
could
was
be
gonna
all the way."
happen?
I have no idea, but we ended up in
Yeah.
row 1, which
Oh,
was
that's cool.
great.
Yeah, that's
And
great.
even if we were high up, it's
Mm.
really not that bad.
Yeah.
So, that was, like, the pregame and everything. I mean, it's just a big game environment. And the NFL, you can tell, obviously, like, invests a lot in the game day experience. Like, the Super Bowl is made for I kept on thinking about this. The Super
Made
Bowl
for
is
TV.
made for TV,
Yeah.
but the game itself to be there was a spectacle.
Cool.
Like, it really was. It felt like it was an awesome like, you wouldn't wanna be at any other sporting event.
Oh,
So,
interesting. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Because I've always thought, like, I don't really need to go to one. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and that may not happen, based
Yeah.
on the prices, but I'm like, I don't need to go to the Super I need to go to the World Series, like, if it happens. And part of that's it's in your own city. There's a difference there,
Yeah.
but you're making it sound much more enticing. Could you see the halftime show?
Yes. So what's interesting is you obviously see like the setup, which
Yeah.
people don't see. So like we saw the Bush people like from the very beginning, like running on, just
That was
wearing
my
the
big reveal after the performance. I'm like, "They were people? What?"
yeah. And we saw Bad Bunny come in on, but yeah, they had the TV, the jumbotrons
Right.
basically showed what people would see at
Did you
home.
watch the Jumbotron or did you watch the
I
field?
watched the Jumbotron
Yeah,
because
okay.
you could just, like you could kinda see where he was at, like, he was
Right.
basically like a person on the like
Yeah.
any other thing, like, you didn't know where he was at unless you were watching the
So it's
thing.
like you said, it's somebody said this, I think my sister might have said this.
Yeah.
It's made for TV. Like, the halftime show is made
Yes.
for TV, right? Like,
Yes,
and it's getting
yes.
more and more that way. The Bad Bunny one might have been the all-time made for TV. Like, he goes
Yes.
into something, it's
Yeah.
digital, and then he comes out, and they have, like, all these guest appearances. There's no way you would know
Yeah.
Jessica Alba was there from where you
No,
were
no,
sitting.
no, no way,
Yeah.
and that was the cool thing is yesterday, my buddy who was still in town, who came to the game as well, we sat down and watched the game
Cool.
on TV.
Yeah.
And it was just cool, like, even the halftime show to watch to see all these different things that we
Yeah.
really didn't notice in person. It helped to have my sister Caroline, like, yell, "That's Ricky Martin.
Yeah,
That's Lady
Carolyn.
Gaga." Like,
Carolyn's a good
I wouldn't
yeah,
have
she's a good
no idea.
pop
She
culture
knew
reference
yeah,
for you.
she knew, she knew.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, so
good.
that was
That's
great.
good. Okay, so we obviously know we'll talk about the game here in a
Yeah,
second. We don't wanna talk forever about your experience. It'll get, nauseating
yeah.
for me. Um, tell me about the post game though, being there live. Like, is it cool? Is it worth it to see the confetti and the speeches and all that
Yes,
stuff? It's
yes.
very cool.
The confetti is actually pretty freaking cool
Oh,
because
nice.
especially we're up, like, way high. And so eventually the confetti just like eventually like becomes like snow. And so there's all these drunk idiots,
Yeah.
myself included, trying to capture the blue and green confetti,
Yeah,
right?
did you get
Like
any?
I got some,
Alright, so
took
what have
some
you done?
home.
Framed it or something? What are you gonna do
No,
with
I
it?
don't know what to do with it. I
Oh,
just
you
have it.
gotta I think you gotta put it in, like, a small frame.
Yeah,
It can
with a
look,
picture.
like, artsy or something, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
it could be cool.
yeah.
I don't know, Christine may
So,
disagree.
yeah, there is that. You don't like after the game there's like the interviews right away, and so at Safeco Field at T-Mobile they would do this with the players and put it over
Yep,
the stadium, right?
yep.
Here
Cal Raleigh
there's
famously, "Let's
exactly
go win the whole fricking thing."
we had
All
to
for
wait the whole like for the whole stage to be set up and for the
Yeah.
whole trophy to hear anything
So
from.
you didn't hear like, they're setting up the stage, and on TV, they're showing I believe Devin Witherspoon was the first person they got.
Yeah,
They
I
obviously showed the coaches meet,
yeah,
Darnold and McDonald hug,
yeah,
but then um I think it was Melissa Stark grabbed Devin Witherspoon. Great interview, but you didn't get that.
yes,
So you're just
no.
watching the
I'm
stage
literally
being
just
put
watching
together.
the stage being built,
Yeah,
and we're
yeah,
like, we're not getting any of the interaction or
yeah,
the reactions or anything. So, but at that time, everyone's just taking pictures. Like
yeah,
they
yeah,
have Super Bowl champion on the jumbotron. Like people are moving their seats. We thought about going down to be closer, but it was just like, what's the point? Like we're already up here. Like all the Patriots fans left like five
yeah.
minutes, eight
Right,
minutes
right.
in the fourth quarter. Like there's lots of space around us. Um, and everyone's in a good mood. Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
you've
it's
been to
great.
games
Good
even
vibes.
on the same, like, when people are on the same team getting mad at each other, like, this is just like, "Oh, yeah, I'll take your picture," like, that sort of vibe, so,
Right, right, right.
um, everyone calling each other champions, like,
That's
it was
awesome.
just wonderful, and to
It was
think that
totally
we did
worth it.
it at Levi's Stadium, like, this is our field now,
There's some great stats out there about the Seahawks having more sacks in 2 games than the Niners did all
all
year
year in their stadium,
because they
yeah.
were terrible at getting I mean, that was a great one. Real quick on the Niners, just to throw it out there, I do wanna give credit to Kyle Shanahan. He was on the pregame, and he had some great stuff. One of
Yes.
which was like, "I couldn't do anything against this team, so I don't know why you're asking me how I'm gonna beat the Seahawks." That was great. He said that the Texans and the Seahawks were the 2 defenses he thought were championship caliber defenses.
Mhm.
So he kinda predicted that it would be tough for Drake May. He predicted a closer game. Fred Warner predicted the Patriots to win. Devin McCourty picked the Patriots to win. Jason Garrett, not a great coach from his time in the Cowboys, was like, the Seahawks are going to roll. He was right on it. It was awesome.
Yeah.
But Kyle Shanahan was good. Like he had good insight. He obviously, I mean, he knows what's going on. And Fred Warner can't pick the Seahawks. I mean, he'd be
Yeah.
disowned by his franchise. But
Do
so
you
it's totally worth it to go.
Yeah. Monetarily, I mean,
I mean, you got to factor
yeah,
that in. Like,
yeah,
was it worth it? Like this?
yes,
Yeah,
yeah, absolutely, and I
yeah.
don't know, and credit to
I
my
mean, they
spouse
won,
for
so that's part of
watching
it.
2 kids under 2
Yeah,
while watching the Super Bowl, but it was like, I mean, it was totally worth it, and the folks that came out of town in and paid probably more money to watch the game, they
sure,
said it was worth it.
cool.
So, I think the next West Coast game, which is actually in LA, and I think
Next
it's gonna
year.
be tougher to get around. If you're an optimistic Seahawks fan and you wanna book a hotel right now,
Mm. That'd be
I'm
the
not gonna
time to
s
you can
yeah,
cancel a hotel.
yeah,
Like, hotels are the thing you should
yeah,
book right now because you can always
yeah,
cancel that if the Seahawks don't make it to the Super Bowl.
yeah,
Um, all right, let's talk about a few things about the game. Um, I thought maybe in top 5 spirit, not
yeah,
actually our top 5, but, we gotta make a list somewhere. I thought, what if we started with the top 5 plays of the game? And I made a list, and I'll just have you react and then tell me if I'm missing one. How's that sound?
yeah. Let's
Okay.
do it.
All right. So the first one I wrote down that I thought I got to pull up the list again. I thought when so after the Patriots scored, this is later in the game, but I think it's number 1 on my list. So after the Patriots scored, and then they got the ball back, and they were kind of driving, and then May throws just a terrible decision that Julian Love intercepts. Like, to me, that's the play of the game because let's see, it's 19-7. There's like, I want to say 11 minutes left, where if the Patriots go down and score, there's plenty of time. You start worrying about this will be, is this going to feel worse than the last time they
Yes.
lost it was, I
Yeah,
had that moment in my head. And when he threw the interception, I was like, I think it's over, and then it
yeah.
was. And then there were other plays that made it even more over, but I don't know.
Yeah,
That's
that
my
was
number 1.
I like to call it the fans are going home moment.
Yeah,
So Ken Griffey Jr. Baseball N64, when you have a blowout, the uh the video game commentator says the fans are going home.
that's a
And so my
great
dad would
reference.
always do this at any game, any sporting event when there was a blowout,
That's
or if
great.
the game was over, he'd say the fans are going home. That moment Patriots fans folded. They were like, "This is like, they were not going to win,"
Yeah.
so they just left. Like
Yeah.
that moment. I think at watching the game, it was like after the Patriots scored that touchdown, you're like, "Oh, like this could be a game, right?" And it was just so backbreaking, I think, for
Yeah.
him. And on the telecast that I ended up watching
Yeah.
after going to the game, you Collinsworth,
Oh, it was
I
awesome.
think, was it
It was
him
so
or
good.
was
Yes, it
it
was Collinsworth.
Tirico?
No, it was Collinsworth.
Had said prior that like, "Oh, he's getting in a
He's got
rhythm,"
a
and
rhythm. He's going.
then
Yeah.
the next play,
Yeah.
They got the interception. What was interesting about Julian Love is that they're coming out with all the player audio,
Yeah.
where they had to tell on Drake May when he would wind up and go for a deep ball. And so they were talking about it on the sideline, like Julian Love in particular was like, prior to that play, like, I'm eventually gonna get one.
Yeah.
Like, I'm eventually gonna get one, and
They
he
had
did
2
get one.
tells, apparently. They had a tell on whether from the offensive line, Witherspoon said whether it was run or pass that Mike McDonald caught. And I just I could have do a whole segment on Mike McDonald now.
Yeah.
And I think he's getting flowers nationally in a cool way.
Yeah.
I think it'll come up naturally in our conversation here. But my second
Yeah.
play would be the Barner touchdown, in part because it was just field goals, and then Darnold missed a couple shots.
Mhm.
He missed JSN early that I think could have been a touchdown, like an 80-yard touchdown or whatever it
Yeah,
was.
there's no one in front of him, yeah.
He missed Shaheed, which I think was before the Barner touchdown. So getting the touchdown just to make, I mean, it made it 19-0, right? That was the first time I really thought it was over, and then I got worried again a little bit. But just to have a touchdown pass, not to mention, I bet on AJ Barner anytime touchdown.
Did you get
So,
the
oh
anytime
yeah,
touchdown?
baby, let's go. Kev, I got the anytime touchdown and I got the defensive touchdown. So
Wow, that
shout
was
out
pretty good.
to Kalshi or whatever the heck
We're
that thing's
gonna
called.
get
um,
I yeah, the AJ Barner touchdown was awesome. Yeah, thank God we saw a touchdown. At any point, did you think
fair.
that Jason Myers was gonna get the MVP?
I was consistently thinking no matter what Myers does, they're going to give it to Walker.
Yeah.
Once he got to and it was pretty early, like first half, I want to say he had 75 yards.
Mhm.
I was like, they're just going to give it to Walker. Mostly because Myers' field goals were all like under 40 yards. Like it wasn't that. It was very helpful. It was
Yes.
not a historic kicking feat, right? So I just didn't think they would give it to him. I
How
learned
about him?
later that his live odds never got better than like 33-1,
Yeah.
which tells you that a kicker's never going to win it.
Yeah.
So don't ever bet a kicker to win the MVP, because if the kicker who sets the record for field goals in a Super Bowl can't win it,
So, the only way I think he could have got MVP is if he had, like, a game winner, right? Like, if it
let's
was
say
just
he had 5 field goals and he had the game winner. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
right. Yeah, you're right. The other one is like
Yeah.
Brendan Aubrey, who's the Dallas kicker who kicks like 80-yard field goals.
Yeah.
If he had like 3 60-yarders and it was like 19-0, I bet they'd give it to a kicker then, right? So maybe
Yeah.
keep your bets going to the kicker. All right,
But
here's
he
my
was the
third.
first 200-point scorer. Well,
He's
him
the
and
all-time leading
LaDainian
scorer in NFL history for a single season. It's incredible. My third
It's
one
ridiculous.
is third and fourth kind of get mixed. So I'll give you both of them. Derek Hall's strip sack of Drake May that Byron Murphy recovered felt like the first time I was like, ooh, we're going to win this thing.
Mhm.
Combine that with the first time Witherspoon blitzed. This is not the interception return. This is the first time he blitzed and got to Drake May. I was like, we're bringing something different. Drake May is nervous. So I don't know what order I'd put those in, because I think that was the first time that Witherspoon blitz where I thought May is rattled, which
You
proved to
you
be true.
you tell me, and I don't know if someone said this after the game to me. Is it true that Eamon Warray is usually the one during the season that was bringing the
Yes.
pressure, and so there was some type of switch, and maybe it was because of his injury that they were bringing Witherspoon
Yeah.
instead of Eamon Warray?
I
Did
don't
they
know if
talk about
this,
that at all?
no, I didn't catch that. I mean, it's hard when you're with other people to hear all
Yeah.
the commentary, right? Too, but like, which I had a hard time with sometimes, because I'm a real pain in the butt sometimes when I watch.
I have a
games.
podcast. Let me watch the game.
Thank you. Witherspoon was intentional, whether it was related to the injury or not. They saw something. McDonald saw something. They decided to do something. There's a random guy on X, and I wish I could tell you who it was because I was just scrolling and saw it. Some people really breaking down film. He sounds like he really knows what he's talking about, and the video clips are cool. and I'll try to explain it the best I can. And I'm not going to give him any credit because I don't remember who it was, so I really apologize. The Seahawks, essentially, his argument was they noticed that the Pats were not running any like short hitches, right? Where like a guy runs 4 yards and turns around, and May would throw that against blitzes. So they were blitzing Witherspoon from defending a receiver into the line at full speed. He was absolutely insane. And then they were leaving that hitch open because May wasn't throwing it, and they weren't running a guy there. They were running guys down the field. Second half, he showed a clip where the Patriots have 3 receivers left side, and they were adjusting. They were running a hitch. And the Seahawks still blitzed Witherspoon. And then they dropped Byron Murphy and Leonard Williams into coverage. That's demonic in the best way. To drop your 2 all-pro level defensive tackles into coverage, so you have blitzers from the outside, and then your inside guys go guard the flats, and they're 310 pounds or whatever. That is so cool.
Yeah.
And that's honestly, when I go back to, we started this podcast by you giving me a little credit for my belief in the Seahawks. What I was frustrated about Pete Carroll post, success was culture builder, great. Believes in his dudes, love it. Schematically, even though I don't understand as much as a lot of people do, I listen to a lot of people talk about it, and he's running the same stuff he ran for 10 years, and people had caught up to it. And I was like, I want a guy, and it wasn't always McDonald, but like Brian Flores, who's Minnesota's defensive coordinator, who runs like crazy blitzes, and you never know where guys are coming from. I'm like, why doesn't everybody do that? That's so cool. Like, that seems hard. And against a 24-year-old quarterback, of course that seems difficult. And McDonald did it. He did some crazy stuff, and he's starting to get the credit for how much of a genius he is. People are calling him a genius, like the best defensive coach in football. There's a great Ringer article about how he broke the mold. Defensive coaches weren't getting hired to be head coaches, and he just broke the mold because he won the Super Bowl, and no one thought they could do it, and he did it. I'm like,
without
this
a
is
star
awesome.
quarterback. Here's the other.
Right.
Yeah, sorry, Sam.
No, yeah.
Here's the other point that I want to make that McDonald brought up, and Orlovsky had a little clip about this, and it was about the crowd noise.
Yeah.
And it was about like 75. I think 75-25 is probably a little more lenient. Maybe if I was
generous.
conservative, I'd say 65-35. Seahawks to Pats. A whole lot of Drake May jerseys, by the way, because I think they feel something about like moving on.
It's going to be Brady.
Tom Brady era, but it was also like there's really no one else on that team. Like,
that you would buy a jersey for yet.
Yeah. His point was that May was on silent count with the Patriots the entire game, and any pre-snap adjustments involved a lot of signaling. And then the Seahawks knew, because they were on a silent count, that they could get a head start on the pressure, on the blitzes. So, like, he can only snap the ball at the point of the play clock. And so Orlovsky was showing these clips of, like, you could see these Seahawks dudes basically get running starts.
Yeah.
Like, and
I wonder if that's related
pressure on him.
Witherspoon said there's a tell, so maybe that's part of the tell to not get the clock, and then you have something else that they're reading. They sure were attacking Will Campbell. So the left tackle for the Patriots, who apparently has short arms. That's what I've learned through this. People were worried about him. He allowed a sack, but he allowed 14 pressures on the left side. Usually your left tackle is your dude, right?
Yeah.
It's the most by any player in a game this NFL season.
That's bad.
And then their first year left guard, they revamped their line, allowed 2 sacks. So they overwhelmed the Patriots line. So the Witherspoon blitzes, Derek Hall, Byron Murphy was amazing. My final play that I would probably put in this, I don't know if this is the right call, but that Riley Mills sack where he bulldozed the offensive lineman and then threw the lineman, grabbed May by the neck, and pulled him down was the coolest thing I've seen. And it's his first career sack, and he just punked a dude in the Super Bowl to do it.
Yeah.
It was awesome. I'm sure there's Cooper Kupp had some catches. I don't know. Would you throw a Ken Walker run in there? What
No,
would
I
you
think
throw?
the Nuoso interception, like
I mean,
they
it sealed it. Like it was done, right?
I
Yeah.
think the cool thing about that was like, how the hell, like he got the ball? Like you can really
I
tell
thought it was a
from
fumble. I did not think it was an interception till
he
later
like
when they told us.
intercepted
Yeah.
the ball and then got his first touchdown in the Super Bowl. Like what a moment.
That's cool too. Yeah. Is that really his first touchdown?
I think it was his first touchdown. That's what they were saying. So
That's cool. I mean, a lot of defensive plays to point to, not a ton of offensive plays to point to. But I would say if we go to the most important players and we did the top 5, you've got to start with Ken Walker.
Of the game.
Sorry,
yeah.
Kenneth Walker III.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's a Super Bowl MVP, and I think he was justifiably so. I'm going to bring this stat up because I think it's important. I talked about it. I'm going to give myself a little credit here. There's 2 things I talked about, 3 things for the preview of this game. I said I was worried about the Patriots' ability to stop the run. With Milton Williams in the lineup, they had not allowed a running back over 53 yards this year. That's a ridiculous stat. And Ken Walker ran all over him. And you probably don't remember, Kev, but do you remember what I said about what the Seahawks would have to do running-wise? No.
Outside the tackles.
Thank you. No. Yes.
I was thinking about it the entire game. I sounded smart in my seat, telling the person next to me, they got to run it outside the tackles. Don't run it up the middle.
So this is from NewEnglandPatriots.com. I like to go to the opposing pages to find information. They said he had 21 carries for 114 yards outside the tackles. So I kind of feel like I should be hired by somebody. I mean, it might end the pod.
Yeah.
Might end the pod, but like,
yeah.
I don't know, working for an NFL team would be pretty cool. So that's one thing.
I'll clip all your great takes. We'll submit that with your cover letter.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I also said I guaranteed you can aggregate this and put it on TikTok that the Patriots would have under 19.5 points.
Did I made money.
No, you should have. I made money on that one, not even by my own bet. I have a family member who bet a good amount of money on that and won and sent me money as a founder's fee. Listening to the podcast.
Happens. That's amazing.
Listening to the podcast. Shout out Uncle Mark.
God, right. We might have to have a lock of the week. Brian's lock of the week.
This would be great. I don't know. Yeah, well, don't clip that, please, because I want to keep my job. The third one was, I talked about Drake May scrambling. Ken Walker.
Which happened. By the way, the scrambling happened.
When he was in trouble.
So frustrating.
Ken Walker outside the tackles. Patriots under points. I can't remember what the other one was. But anyway, Ken Walker was amazing.
Yeah.
He was really good. He had carries. I think he had 5 carries over 10 yards. They were loving him on the broadcast. He was awesome. He did more interviews than he's ever done in his life. And he's been on the teacups with Sam Darnold now. Like he's at Disneyland. Did you see that? Like this is some amazing stuff from Ken Walker. So good. There's the yawn, everybody, for your drinking game. So Ken Walker was my number 1 player. My number 2 player, Kev, Devin Witherspoon. I think you could have given the MVP.
Yeah.
He had 4 pressures and a sack and a QB hit that caused an interception. So I think he had 6 total pressures or 6 blitzes. And on those 6 blitzes, he ended up with a sack and a hit that led to an interception in 4 pressures. And then coverage-wise, I don't really remember people beating him ever on anything.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what his PFF score is, but he's the number 1 corner on PFF after the year, including the playoffs. He was incredible. So I would put him there. My number 3 player would be Michael Dixon, the punter. What a punting performance.
Yes.
It was incredible. And he's actually, I've listened to ESPN radio and Fox radio just driving around on last night, Monday night. And, everyone's talking about the Super Bowl. It's kind of cool. Your team gets talked about. I'll get to some of the other stuff they said later and that I don't like. But people were like, Michael Dixon is amazing. He had
He's
what do
been
you have?
around for a while.
I know he's been the best punter in the league for a while, but when you don't go to the Super Bowl, no one talks about your punter.
Yeah, it's
Don't you
true.
think? Like, yeah.
Yeah.
He had 3 inside the 10 or something like that out of his 7 or whatever it was, but he was incredible.
Unfazed.
I'm not putting Jason Myers on the list, just FYI. Byron Murphy's my number 4. He had
Yeah.
2 sacks. He had 5 pressures. He's an all-pro, dude. He's like 24 years old. This is very exciting. He's
Yeah,
awesome.
I mean, the whole team seems like they're all pros and 24 years old.
Yeah, that's
Like,
pretty
he's
cool,
not the
actually. Yeah.
not the only one.
My last one I'm going to let you pick for players of the game, most important players. Would you go
Yeah,
Cooper Kupp or Sam Darnold?
I'd go Cooper Kupp
Yeah,
because I
big
think
game with
Sam
JSN out.
Darnold, I mean, even if Kupp had 12 targets, which was a lot, and I
That's
remember
crazy.
at one point telling my brother-in-law who's sitting next to us that it feels like Kupp is having a Jermaine Curse game, which
Mm,
means he's getting targeted a lot. He's not catching it, but he'll catch ones that matter because he's just being thrown to, and Darnold trusts him. And that happened. I mean, his numbers are super modest, like under 100 receiving yards, but he did
right.
have 6 catches.
They were
He
big
had
with JSN
yeah,
hurt. They were
mhm,
huge. Yeah,
yeah, and he totally played like an experienced vet. I hope he comes back next year. I still think he's good enough to play,
you think
and I don't
why
think
wouldn't he?
he yeah,
You
I
think he's
just
gonna
it's
retire?
no, I
They've got him under contract. He's under a decent
yeah,
contract.
I think it's just that you could upgrade from him. You really could.
I'm gonna disagree for the fact of, and we'll talk so much about the
Yeah.
Seahawks offseason soon because we're gonna
This is
only
gonna be
have basketball
so
and
much
hockey.
fun, though,
We're
to
gonna
talk
yeah.
about the
Actually,
Super
baseball's
Bowl
starting soon,
offseason.
which is exciting.
The Mariners brought us into the Seahawks, and the Seahawks brought us back to the Mariners.
It's
How
so
about
true,
that?
Kev. It's so good. It's so
Like, it's
good.
so hard to have a gap because there's no NBA team, so we need our baseball team and football team to overperform and just
Yeah,
cover the
so
NBA
good.
gap
You're
or
right.
bad college
You're totally
basketball.
right. The Mariners brought us all the way to like week 8 or something. I don't know what it was, but it's crazy. Cup signed I want to say a 3-year, $45 million deal.
Yeah,
It's totally reasonable salary. He blocks as well as any receiver in football, is what the Seahawks say.
yeah.
They call him the best teammate. ASN says he learned so much from him. Darnold
He's
loves
a
him.
professional, yeah.
He's a pro. Unless he retires, I don't know why they would cut him and then try to replace him. I don't think they can replace him. I think they can get more. I think they could re-sign Shaheed. They've still got Horton, who was hurt, right?
I want them
They
to
could
draft a wide receiver. I
I'm
want them
totally
to
fine with that.
drive like
Yeah,
a guy that Darnold can throw bombs to. That's what I
right.
want.
And so maybe you don't re-sign Shaheed, right? Whatever.
Yeah.
I think Bobo is fine, and they just don't throw to him. Like he had a big touchdown, obviously in the playoffs. They got enough. Barner's good. Arroyo didn't really get used this year in the passing game, and they're going to upgrade. Maybe there'll be a receiver they can sign in free agency, but I just don't think there's any reason to get rid of Cup unless he wants to retire.
Yeah, I
So
can't wait to
I would
talk about
expect
the
him to be
NFL
back.
draft now that I have a great understanding of what the needs are of this team.
Yeah, but
So
they're
much
picking
more exciting.
32nd. It's not going to be that
Yeah.
exciting, which
Yeah.
I'll take to win the Super Bowl. I just
I
want to remind
mean,
everybody the
honestly,
Seahawks won the Super Bowl. I just want to
yeah.
let you know.
If you look back at like the past 5 drafts, though, like we have not missed. John Schneider
It's
has not missed.
insane. It's
So
insane.
32nd pick or not, like I'm
John
looking
Schneider
forward to
is
it.
Ichiro with runners in scoring position in 2001. That's what he
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
Hopefully you get that reference, everybody. I want to talk about the narrative after the game. And these are things that annoy me listening to national media. I don't know. I guess we live in a world where facts don't matter all the time anyway. So, I mean, to me, they do. And to people I educate, hopefully they do. But to the general public in America, they seem to be irrelevant anymore. So I'm going to try and use some facts to change this narrative that people want to say. The first one is the Seahawks are not an all-time great team. I'd love for you to respond.
I think that's just premised on the idea that to be an all-time great team, you need stars on that team. but it's kind of, what's the word? It's an oxymoron because, like, it's a team we're saying a team, and so it doesn't matter who's on the team so much as the team can accomplish something great together. And Seattle, like, this team is equal to the 2013, 2014 team. They both won Super Bowls. They're both better than the teams that didn't win Super Bowls in Seahawks history. So to say that they're not an all-time great team, now maybe the context is different when you're saying all-time greatest NFL teams, but if you look at the metrics, they're up there.
So let's look at some best point differential of any team since 2002. Okay, all time since 2002. So the last 24 years, best point differential. They are the first team since 1996 to have a number one scoring defense and a top 3 scoring offense. People sleep on this offense like it's not good. Top 3. Their losses this year, total points 9. 9 points. It's like in the top 5 all time, or no, it's top 7 all time of point differential from losses. Obviously, the Dolphins in 1972 have the best one because they never lost, right? So it's 0 for them. 9 points. And let's use DVOA, which people seem to like generally. Since 1978, including the playoffs, here are your best teams ever in DVOA. Number 1, the 1991 Washington Redskins. Number 2, 1985 Chicago Bears. Pretty good teams. Number 3, 2007 Patriots. I think that's the team that lost that was
To
undefeated.
Eli in the Super Bowl.
Number 4, the 2025 Seahawks. So, as you said, these are different metrics. We're picking all kinds of different stuff here. And you could keep going on X and you could find more and more and more and more to back this up. I am not somebody, to be honest, even as a fan, who thought this is an all-time great team. In fact, I don't even know that I believe it even reading those things, probably because of what you said. They don't have the same star power, but the numbers sure are telling a different story. And so I think the idea that they didn't play Pat Mahomes or Josh Allen or whoever. They didn't go through the Eagles, they're defending champs or something. I don't know what it is. The AFC being bad or those quarterbacks being bad this year made it feel like they weren't an all-time great team. And they just might be.
Yeah. I think it's up to us, like, how historically we wanna look at the team, right? Like, and I think part of the team's issue with, like, the superstar, quote, "problem" that we identified a long time ago, like, how it just doesn't feel like it's historically good, although everything's telling us it's historically good. Like, if they win next year, then it all of a sudden, like, you start talking like, "Was this a dynasty?" Right? Like, and that's
Yeah.
kind of the fun thing about we get to talk about this offseason, like, can they run it back? Right?
All
Like,
right.
that's exciting. Like, and Softy went on a whole monologue, on his show about how he never thought after the Seahawks lost, against the Patriots 12 years ago that they'd ever get another shot at going back to back, right? And Eh, and that's not a flippant thing to say, like, even if you win a championship, you can feel like after you've won that championship that the pieces aren't together. Like, so that 2013, 2014, like, mostly everything was back the following year and then they made it back, right? And here, uh, there's a very real possibility and a very real thing to think that they could run it back because
Okay.
as we
Yeah.
said, like, the team's young, all the
They
key
got
pieces are under control, and they're only
yeah.
gonna get better,
Yeah.
right?
And I
They're
want
only
to
gonna
save
improve.
roster stuff for a future episode, but I do kind of want to
Yeah.
break it down and look at the free agents and talk about it. But a lot of those good players are back, and
Yeah.
they had some good injury. They had some injuries, but they didn't really get hit terribly, right? Um, the line was all there on both sides in the Super Bowl, but people forget they lost. I don't think Horton's huge, Arroyo's huge, but Zach Charbonnet is a pretty big loss. They lost him, Anyway, so that was one narrative. The other narrative is like somehow they had an easy playoff run. And I think it's
What?
because, I've heard this a couple places, right? Like, and here's the facts to counter that. Well, first we'll say the Seahawks are the first team to score 100 plus points and allow fewer than, I think it's like 53 points, I want to say, in the postseason. First team to have 0 turnovers in a postseason run. Since 1975, this is the biggest one. The number 1 seed has won the Super Bowl 27 times. Do you know how many of those times a team has beaten 3 teams with 12 plus wins?
This was
Only
the
your
first time.
2025
Yeah.
Seahawks. So they objectively played the hardest run ever to win a Super Bowl from a number 1 seed. So what are we doing?
Yeah.
It was not easy. The Niners and the Rams are the second best team in football. And I think if you're a Rams fan, you could
You're feeling vindicated.
and you could
Yeah.
saltily, if that's a word, claim that you were the best team. I mean,
Yeah.
you're wrong, but like you could make a claim, the 2-point conversion, the whatever, right? Third narrative. Sam Darnold didn't do anything to win the Super Bowl. He's actually not that good. I mean, this is already there. Like they're ranking him. Ryan Clark had him 10th in the NFC among 14 quarterbacks. Sam Darnold completed 65% of passes, 870 yards, and 5 touchdowns in the playoffs. The biggest key, he had no turnovers.
In the entire playoffs.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
And
No
do
turnovers.
people forget that 2 weeks ago, he threw for 346 yards and 3 touchdowns against the Rams in the NFC Championship game?
Yeah.
Maybe the best quarterback performance in Seahawks history. Like, can we stop? He was fine in the Super Bowl. Was he awesome? No.
No.
If he hit JSN or Rashid, the whole narrative becomes even better.
Yeah.
But Sam Darnold, I'll say this because people on TikTok didn't like it. He's better than Jalen Hurts. He won a Super Bowl. That was my whole argument. Is Hurts won a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Now Darnold's won the Super Bowl. He's better than Jalen Hurts. He's better than Brock Purdy. I take him above Purdy. I don't take him above Stafford. He's not above Mahomes. He's not above Josh Allen, even though Josh Allen hasn't won the Super Bowl. I'm not crazy. I think it's a conversation about him and Joe Burrow. People could say I'm crazy.
Yeah.
What makes him different than Joe Burrow?
Yeah. I think people struggle with the Sam Darnold thing because and we've seen this, like Russell Wilson, like remember that debate about before he got really good about how like he's just a game manager, right? And obviously he wasn't just that, right? Now we've gone 3 episodes straight mentioning Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
Not today's Satan. Anyways, someone at work said that. I was like, wow, you're pretty well versed in Russell Wilson's tweets. And where was I going with this? It was just like this idea that like when your defense is good, people find ways to devalue like offensive contributions. And I don't think because you have a good defense and you win games because of the defense that you have a bad offense. Like you have a decent offense. Like that's what the Seahawks played like at times. Other times they were pretty freaking elite. Like, you were naming off, like, what were they, 4th in total offense or points scored this past year? I don't have the whatever in front of me, but the offense ranked high throughout the season, and I think that Darnold had some great games, and, like, all quarterbacks, he had some bad games. Like, but he didn't turn the ball over, right? At one point, he took a sack last night, or on Sunday, where he could have, like, extended the play or tried to, play hero. Just took the sack. And
I'm looking up my Joe Burrow versus Sam
Darnold.
Because I think I might have gotten ahead of myself a little bit.
Yeah.
Joe Burrow had a really, really good 2024, Kev. He was really good. He threw for like 43 touchdowns and 8 interceptions. He was really good.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
But Sam Darnold was really good in 2024 also, but not quite as good as Joe Burrow. So maybe I'll slow it down a little bit.
I mean, Sam Darnold has the most wins.
Won a Super Bowl. He's good enough to win a Super Bowl.
He's the Super Bowl champion, Sam Darnold, which is a lot more.
That's right. Those are the 3 narratives I wanted to discount and tell you that the Seahawks were awesome, and they won the Super Bowl, and you were there,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
No one can take that away from us.
no, it's incredible.
Like, I love shout out to, my friend James. He was saying that, like, you know, sucks that Kubiak's no longer the offensive coordinator. But he said, "That sucks, but who cares? We won the Super Bowl. Everyone on this team has
So
served their
true.
purpose.
So
Like,
true.
it could all fall apart tomorrow. They
Well,
can
yeah,
never
the
take
offense
away the
could be bad
championship."
next year. It's
Yeah,
possible
like the
because
team could
Kubiak
be
was really
bad.
good. Yeah, but
Yeah,
we're gonna do that
yeah,
a different day. We're gonna talk about
yeah.
whether that matters. But
But that's
I
the
agree with
great thing
James.
about
Yeah,
winning it all, and,
mhm.
like,
It's all worth
you
it.
contrast that with the Huskies, where it did actually all fall apart after the national championship, and then you couldn't fall back on that they actually won. They
Yeah, it would have been
lost.
different.
It would have felt a lot different,
Would have,
right?
yeah.
Like, it's an alternate reality, um, and so it's been a God, what a high, it's been to be a Seattle sports fan. Like, the
Incredible
Mariners
year.
were on the doorstep of a World Series, which feels like a damn Super Bowl, right, to be in the ALCS because of the historic nature of it all. I think this time around, like, the Seahawks have this kind of, like, it's not a surprise that they were there. In, like, if you take a step back and look at the franchise's history, like, they've made it every 10 years to the Super Bowl.
It's well,
Yeah.
at once they started making it, they've made it. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly, but
yeah,
it
yeah.
we're a good franchise.
Totally. 4 Super Bowls, since 2002 when they joined the NFC, is tied for any NFC team. So in the last
Yeah.
24 years, they have, with the Eagles, the most Super Bowl appearances. Like, that's crazy. I never
It's
thought I'd
just
live that life. That's insane. It
yeah.
was the feeling I had when they won this time was different. The first time it was like this elation of, I can't believe it. They've never won. No
They
team has
finally did it, or just like
won
a
anything.
championship, like our generation, right? Like,
Yes. I was
yeah,
6 months old when the Sonics won in 1979. Obviously, I don't remember it.
yeah,
Um, they'd never won anything. Sounders had won. It doesn't feel the same as the Mariners, Sonics, or
yeah,
Seahawks for me. Even the Storm, like, it just doesn't feel the same. Those are the 3 major sports growing up. That's the mainstream sports in Seattle, and then those ones feel the strongest. And then when the Seahawks beat the Broncos, it was like this unbelievable, I can't believe it. This one, I was much more like, I was very
what the
happy.
hell? Like, did that
Yeah, I was very
just
happy. It was a
happen?
little bit of what the hell for sure. Like, I can't believe this happened. And just like, yeah, of course the Seahawks
Alright,
won the Super Bowl. Like,
can
I
we
don't know.
move
It
to
was a,
blind
yeah.
yeah, can we move to blind rank? Because I think I have the perfect transition. I'm ready if
Well, I
you're
was gonna
ready.
say, are you just ready to go to bed? Go ahead.
No, no,
Yes.
no.
Yes.
Okay, so I want you to blind rank all-time Seattle sports teams. I'm gonna give you the team, and you're gonna
Okay.
slot them in 5 spots.
I get 2 no ranked, right?
Yeah, you
Or are
get
you getting,
2 no rank. You get
you're giving
2
me
no
7
ranked.
total?
I'll give you 7 total. Okay, number 1, the 2013 Seattle Seahawks. Number 1, okay? The 1978-79 Sonics.
These are championship teams?
Well, just teams, not
Or
cha
just
because
teams, so they don't have
we
to be
don't have
championships?
yeah, they don't have to be championship teams.
Tricky. So, like, in some ways, I gotta slot them in it. I'm not gonna do it yet, but I slot them in at 2 because if you have no other champions, then they've gotta be. But I'm gonna put them 3.
Let's go.
You're just Googling
Sorry.
as you do.
No, 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 no. 2001 Seattle Mariners.
4. They gotta be below the
Okay.
Sonics. Sonics won it all.
Okay.
So
So
this
you have
is tricky because I have 5 and 2, but I still have some empty spots.
yeah. This 2025, 2026 Seattle Seahawks team.
Okay. I mean, I got to put them at 2.
Wow.
Yeah. Above the 78, 79 Sonics
Yeah.
and above the 2001 Mariners that didn't win the World Series, of course.
Yeah.
You're going to make this
Okay.
pain in the ass for me, aren't you?
Well, let's go to the 91 Huskies.
I knew you were going to do that. I knew that was coming. These all are, no, they're not all championship teams.
No.
I mean, I got to put them 5
Okay.
because I can't put them off the list. I think the
Yeah.
ones that, I don't know what's going to be left. We'll find out. What are my other 2 that I left off the list?
I'm going to go the
No, see, this is what you do. You're
No,
picking
there's
it
2
as
more.
you go.
No, there's literally 2 more teams.
Okay.
This was a list.
Okay.
The 2019 Sounders
That's fine. Leave them off.
and then the 2018 Storm. You're fine with leaving
off.
them both.
Leave them off. That's fine.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, I'd probably put the Storm in for the 2001 Mariners because they blew it, but 116 win season is historic.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I feel okay with my blind rank.
Yeah. I there's 2 other ones that I think are in the conversation.
From your original list that you just decided as we went.
Well,
to
it's
leave
the
off.
Seahawks after.
Such a cheater.
The Seahawks after the 2014 Seahawks that didn't win the Super Bowl.
Yep.
And then the 2023 Huskies that didn't win the national championship. I think those are the 2 other teams. Would either of those break your top 5? Probably not, right?
No.
Yeah.
No. I mean, the Seahawks that lost the championship, I might put above the 2001 Mariners, but probably not because the 2001 Mariners were historic.
Yeah.
They're getting a statue, Kev. We've talked about it on this podcast. All right. My blind rank has to do with Super Bowl. So Ken Walker won the MVP. I'm going to give you 7 MVPs, and you have to blind rank them.
God.
I'll try to give you people you've heard of, but that's always hard with you. Okay. You ready? This is going to be fun.
Yeah.
Nick Foles.
God. Leave him off.
Okay. Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay, great. Cooper Kupp.
Number 4. Can you read it? Do you have his stats in front of you from the game or no?
8 catches, 92 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah.
D'Antonio Holmes.
Oh, God. I don't even, what team was he on?
Pittsburgh. 9 catches, 131 yards, and a touchdown. Not the Pittsburgh team that beat Seattle, but the one that beat Arizona.
Yeah, they're on Roethlisberger.
I think he had the game-winning catch, too. Like, literally the game-winning touchdown.
It's crazy that Mike Tomlin.
So is Santonio Holmes above Cooper Kupp?
No way. He's either 5 or off.
Why? He had a better game.
Yeah.
Put him 5 or
maybe
off?
I have some recency. 5.
All right. You got Kupp at 4, 5. Holmes is off. Terrell Davis, Denver.
Oh.
Last running back to win it before Ken Walker.
Yeah, it's not nuts in 2001. I'll put him at 3.
He had 157 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Oh, he
pretty
maybe a 2
good.
or 1. Yeah,
You
but you
haven't
haven't named a.
Put him at 3.
Please,
Okay.
you have to give me. How
This
are you
is so
not going to
fun.
give me?
This is so fun.
Don't change it.
So you have 1 off and you have 2 and 1 left, and you have 3 people, right?
Yeah, I've saved one.
Deion Branch, former Seahawk, but he did it in New England. Is he off? Is he
player.
2 or is he 1?
He's off. So then I'm stuck with 2 players left.
Malcolm Smith.
Oh.
Seahawks.
Oh, no. Number 2. What did you think of Malcolm Butler ringing the ring before the game?
I was so mad. I was so mad. It was the most mad I've been in the whole game. I was so mad. I was cursing at the TV. All right, my last one. This is fair to you. Steve Young.
Number 1.
The game where he had 6 touchdown passes.
Yeah.
So you got a good number 1. Your Malcolm Smith at number 2, and your who's your third? Terrell Davis 3.
It's amazing that you literally skipped over maybe like 6 Tom Brady Super Bowl MVP.
I didn't put any Tom Brady's on there.
Amazing. I was
No
like,
Pat
he's got
Mahomes.
to mention Brady once.
I was gonna go Joe Flacco maybe for you.
Yeah.
I was thinking Hines Ward against the Seahawks. I was thinking about Dexter Jackson, cornerback for Tampa Bay. He's kind of in the Malcolm Smith category of
That's crazy.
who Malcolm Smith had fumble recovery, INT for a touchdown, 10 tackles. It's a pretty good game. I don't know what he did after
Man,
that, but
we talked for over an hour about the Super Bowl
we sure
champion
did.
Seattle
We sure did.
Seahawks.
We
They
sure did.
won this is why we do this, man, to be able to talk about, like,
Amazing.
winning the Super Bowl.
So awesome. It doesn't it's similar to the feeling I had at the end of the Super Bowl. Like, I thought talking about the Super Bowl on a podcast is gonna be the coolest thing, and it was awesome. But you can't really live it's almost like you can't
capture it.
You can't capture it. You can't get to the hype you feel. Like, I felt like, God, if the Seahawks won the Super Bowl, it'd be the greatest feeling in the world. And it wasn't the greatest feeling in the world. It was like sweet
It wasn't
relief.
as good as the first time.
No, it's not. Yeah, and that's why the Mariners won. This playoff run was so different because it got so close. And if they keep getting close, I mean, just if the Mariners do it, this cements it forever for me. I think you asked me this question on the podcast. What would you rather have? Or maybe a friend of mine. I'm like, the Mariners World Series, easily.
Yeah.
And Dana, my wife's point was like, you get home games in Seattle, so it's worth it. And that is definitely part of it to them to go to the World Series. That was the question. Would you rather have the Mariners go to the World Series or the Seahawks win the Super Bowl?
For this coming year?
It was like before the Seahawks won the Super Bowl this year.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, the Mariners go to the World Series, even if they don't win it, because it's never been done. It's that first time. It's that feeling. It's like amazing, you know?
Yeah.
But this still feels pretty good.
My prediction, right? I said the Seahawks are going to win the Super Bowl.
You did? Oh, my God. Yeah. I thought you were crazy. And you said the Mariners are going to win the World Series.
Yeah. I'm halfway there, man.
That's insane. Did I say the Sonics were going to come back?
Did you see that headline? We can talk about it next week.
I did, Kev.
Yeah.
It'll be the best year in Seattle sports history if it happens. It will.
It already is. We might have to rename our podcast like We're Here, Seattle.
I think we might. I was already thinking about this. This is how we can end. We might just need to switch it to C-Town Sports anyway. We're not waiting anymore. Like, we're champions in the city. And you guys are all suckers, especially y'all in LA and the Bay Area. Sorry for you.
Yeah.
Sam Darnold's a Super Bowl champ. I'm going to wear my shirt as soon as I get it on this podcast so y'all can see it.
And every time I pass by Levi's Stadium now, we'd be like, that's Sam Darnold's home. JJ, Luca, see that big thing over there, that big stadium? That is Sam Darnold's home.
That's Sam Darnold's home. Kev, I can't wait to talk to you about San Jose State basketball next week. It'll really live up to the Super Bowl episode.
Santa Clara basketball. They have a big game this Friday.
Yep. Husky
Saturday.
women.
Yeah.
Kraken hockey or Olympics. We'll give an update on Luke and Ben next week.
Yes, that will be nice
tomorrow,
too.
So there you go.
Yeah, I'm going to go watch some Olympics while I edit this episode.
All right, Kev, you're a Super Bowl champion, buddy.
You are too.
All right. See you next week.
Congrats, champ. See you next week. Congrats, champions. Thanks for listening.